I um, got elected and I started to learn a little bit more about Common Core, the first thing I noticed was that our budget in Worcester was increasing. We received more money every single year. And as our budget increased, interesting enough, our discretionary budget decreased. So we had less money to spend on the front lines. So we were gobbled up on all these different areas of our budget. And one of the things I looked at was the Common Core. What was it going to cost? How much was it going to cost in textbooks? Just in the park testing alone, I didn't realize if you have one computer in a room, that's okay. But when you have 30 computers in a room, you have to AC that room because of the heat that's given off. Now, who wouldn't know that? I didn't know that. So what's it going to cost to AC 44 schools in Worcester? What was it going to cost to bring the broadband in? You know, these were definitely what we talked about, Dean, was cost. So in May of 2013, I was still serving on the school committee. I was in my house one day, and I was thinking about what can I do to bring an awareness to Worcester? I said, I'm going to have a Common Core forum. So as I gathered information, I got really panicky. I was thinking no one's going to show up. I invited Sandy. That's how we first met. And as it turned out, we had 125 people. The room was packed, and it was beginning of my journey on to educate the public. And the next year, in 2014, not even a year ago, in March, we also were having little pockets throughout the state that were starting to educate people, parents that were challenging school committee members, parents that were going up against legislators, teachers, union delegates that I had spoken in front of the EAW, which is the second largest teachers union in the state of Massachusetts. I had spoken at the MTA convention about Common Core and Park. And as I noticed that there were all these little pockets, but not one unified kind of umbrella organization. So I started Common Core Forum, which is a nonpartisan, parent, teacher, citizen, complete volunteer-based group. We received no funding from anybody, not even the Bill Gates Foundation. So that's surprising, huh? Because everybody seems to be accepting money from him this day. So anyways, we started this group. We are made up of, I'd say, between 2,000 and 3,000 members throughout the state, and we just do these forums. We educate the public. And just to give you a little idea, this last year, there were 2 bills filed at the legislative level in the House that were against Common Core. Now we have 7 this year, one including the one that was sponsored by the Massachusetts Teachers Association. So we've come a long way in a year. We will support and we will work with our legislators to educate them on these bills. That's one of our goals this year. We also will work with the towns that will be putting a non-binding questions on their ballot. We will also work on helping parents stepping up to the plate to run for school committee. There are a lot of as we noticed last year, we did a lot of lobbying with school committee members to talk to them about the park and the MCAS, and it really surprised us how little they knew about Common Core. Almost nothing. And I said, you're a school committee member, how can you not know what Common Core is? Well, what's the big deal, you know? So we're realizing that we have a lot of outdated, antiquated school committee members that probably need to move right along. And we have those that are doing really well there, advocating for the children. But so we're going to help parents that, or even grandparents, anybody that feels that they have the passion to support the community and the kids in education. So that's one of our goals this year. And the other goal we have is we're going to continually run these forums. Last year, I think we ran about 30 of them. This year, we're hoping we ran almost 4 or 5 this month already. And we will also we'll have a day on the Hill on April 15th, which we hopefully will recruit some of you to come up, help us to educate our legislative body. We'll have guest speakers there.